Alright guys, remember if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. I guess I should talk about EVO, some thoughts on multiple games. Honestly, I only watched a little bit of it. Again, I know it hurts people's feelings, but video games are just kind of a passing hobby for me. So God, I don't even think I watched 2 hours of EVO. Let's say an hour, hour and a half maybe of everything combined. You know what I mean? Just casually. Did I watch 2 hours? I don't know. It wasn't very much. So, I don't know. Hour and a half? God, was it 2 hours? I'm not sure. That seems like a lot. But point is, I didn't want to watch a lot, but a couple of thoughts. So, first of all, Street Fighter 6. The only thing I have to say from the trailer is Jury? Her name is Jury, right? She could suck it, but I don't know about touch it. You know what I mean? I don't know. What's up with these, like, wrinkly fingers, man? I don't know. I thought maybe her face looks okay. Maybe she could suck it, but those wrinkly fingers, man, those are suspect. Those fingers aren't loyal, dude. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of how Street Fighter 6 looks graphically and aesthetically speaking, to be honest with you. And then the Kimberly Ninja Girl, I don't know. I think I would think that she was cute with the spray can Ninja Dash super kind of stuff. It's kind of cute, kind of silly, but then I look at her and it's like, dude, we already have Maki though. Why not just Maki? We already have a guy ninja. We just had Zeku. Can't we just have guy? You know what I mean? Do we really need? Are we really going? The street culture thing is a little forced for me. I feel like part of me wants to think it's cute, but it's kind of like it's too forced for me, and it just is kind of like, why don't you just have Guy? And we already have Maki. Why don't you redo Maki? We can get that big fat ass of Maki in there, get some jiggly tits. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, I don't know. So, too forced for me. Too forced street culture. You know, too heavy-handed or something, if you want to say. For Street Fighter V, if it's the end of Street Fighter V, again, my opinion on if it's the end of Street Fighter V is I still say from the very beginning, Street Fighter V, interesting game. Some of the things are interesting. I still think I wish they would have done with block damage. I wish if you're not going to have block damage kills, with how pre-planned and pre-contrived the game is, you know what I mean, frame data wise, I think they should have done when you have no life left, whenever you block a special move, even if it doesn't kill you, since you already have that guard crush animation in the game, make it so every special move guard crushes you. At least so you can have that kind of excitement of the, you know what I mean? Try to please both parties. You have both parties of, we don't want to die from special move block damage. I know super moves kill you block damage wise. I know how the game fucking works, obviously, but in case some hater tries to post, you know what I mean? Have that excitement of, you know, that kind of anticipation and thrill of the opponent cannot block any more attacks. And because the game is so pre-planned and pre-contrived, just have it so every special move, no matter when they block it, it has now a set amount of guard crush frames it does. So every time a special move hits you, no matter what it does, it always leaves you at plus, but just plus enough that your next move is not guaranteed. So there's a little bit of excitement like that. Now, I know, of course, certain moves you would not be able to do that, like a fireball full screen. Of course, you would not be able to have that guard crush and then not potentially be able to be killed. But again, because you could certainly, you know, just for like regular attacks of the character's body moving, you could pre-plan the special move to such an extent that nothing is guaranteed. You know what I mean? I think it would add that kind of, you know, a little bit more of a thrill to the game and excitement. So I wish they would have added that to the game, but if this is the end of the game, it is the end of the game. For Dragon Ball Fighter Z, if it's the end of the game, I guess I guess they're insinuating it's the end of the game. Maybe no more updates, no more characters. I still say Dragon Ball Fighters is such a drop ball, biggest drop ball I can think in fighting game history as it is, because the IP, people were going to buy the game no matter what. You know what I mean? People bought those shitty Ultimate Battle fuck my shit games, and those games are legitimately not just bad fighting games, they are bad games in the grand scheme of video game design. They are ugly and terrible fucking video games. And people bought those games. So people were going to buy Dragon Ball Fighters, whatever, despite it being a terrible game. So I still think it's a drop ball because, again, I've talked about this ad nauseum. A narrative is important when you're selling a video game. The narrative of why do I buy this video game over this game? We already know it's Dragon Ball, so people are going to buy it because it's a Dragon Ball game. But why does a fighting game fan buy this over another game? And you sell a game because it brings a new perspective on what a video game can be. And that's why I say you had that great opportunity with the tug of war between homing, dashing, and reflecting and fireballs, all this kind of stuff, that kind of tug of war. And they really should have doubled down on that, and they should have focused more stuff on that. That actually gave you the chance to have new archetypical characters in the game that could have focused on that. And then you could have had a character that instead of reflecting, they suck up the fireballs. They suck you like a vacuum cleaner. You know what I mean? And they charge their fireball, their meter that way. There's so many things you could have done with that to put a new perspective on fighting games and sell it to a broader audience than, you know, that just like fighting games specifically, not just Dragon Ball Z. I mean, again, and you talk about not having other characters. You have a character like GT Gogeta who specifically builds, you know, Dragon Balls. You know what I mean? Why did they not have Omega Shenron in the game? Have another character that builds Dragon Balls so you can have meta of building characters that build Dragon Balls more easily. Teams specifically dedicated to that endeavor, that specific aspect of the game. So again, overall, I've talked about the game at nauseum. You know what I mean? It's just such a drop ball. You could have done so many things with it, and the game is fundamentally flawed. But it's sad. If it's the end of the game, it's the end of the game. I would hope that they're just going to make a Dragon Ball Fighter Z 2, Dragon Ball Fighter Z Hyper Championship Edition, whatever. So whatever. If it's the end of the game too, I know people are like, oh, there's rollback, all this kind of stuff, but you know, for me personally, I don't care about the game specifically competitively. You know, of course I've done tech videos for the game, and of course we see the meta of the game and what is in the game that is not something that, you know, I originally showed off, right? You know what I mean? So if the game, you know, that's why I said, you know, I put out tech videos because of course I have fathomed how the game could be played. And as we've gone throughout the years, you see it's just more and more and more how the game is played, how I said it would be. Again, that homing dash rejump shit. Look at that. For, you know, people were saying that stuff was fake. You would never do that. Now homing dash rejumps, that all that shit is just, those are B&Bs. You know what I mean? That's just regular shit. You know what I mean? It was only a matter of time before all the stuff that I talk about gets used more and more. You know what I mean? So, but you know, rollback, you know, maybe if rollback would have been in the game earlier, maybe I would have fiddled with it if I was younger and actually played video games, but I don't really play games besides very randomly. So, you know, it's too little too late. Don't care about the game enough for me, but again, it's fun for the fans, and hopefully for a Dragon Ball Fighter Z2, maybe if they ever fiddle with the game and polish it up a bit, maybe I'll actually play it sometime. But as it is now, I don't know any friend in real life that even likes the game either. So, overall, again, if it's the end of Dragon Ball Fighter Z, I did what I set out to do. I only did stuff for the game, besides that I like Vegito, because I just think he's cool with the kicks, and he's not even like a kick character in the game, really. But, you know, main reason for me doing the game is, like I said, my story's never changed. I just did it to prove that I was the best ever, again, you know, that I was the best ever tech-wise. No one else can look at a game and call a game like I can. And I proved that. Again, I think I proved that easily. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, you know, what is in the game that, you know, I didn't originally show off, I guess, right? So, I'm fine with that. If the game ends, you know what I mean? I did what I sought out to do. I didn't do stuff for the game with the thoughts of playing it or entering tournaments anymore. I just did it to prove that I was the best tech guy ever. You know what I mean? I just wanted to prove that I could look at a game and prove how I could tell you exactly how it's going to work, and I did that, and so I'm fine with that if that's the end. For Strive, you know, Strive, I watched a little, God, again, I don't even think I watched 2 hours of EVO altogether. Maybe I watched a half hour of Strive or something. God, even if that seems like a lot. Man, you know, maybe half hour, 40 minutes, I don't know. I watched maybe, God, let's say half hour of Street Fighter, half hour of Strive, half hour of Dragon Ball. So maybe I watched an hour and a half of whatever. God, maybe that's it. Maybe not even 2 hours. Again, It's weird to think that, you know, there's a part of me that likes video games, but I guess at the end of the day, I got other shit to do. I got other shit to do in life. I don't want to sit around watching video games, I guess, right? So, but Strive, again, Strive, I think the funniest thing when I look at Strive is, again, I talk about the narrative of video games again, just like I talked about Dragon Ball. And, you know, all this stuff of like, oh, the game is going to be so risky to jump. It's going to be the most risky game ever to jump. Obviously, you saw that's not how the game works. Oh, the wall, it's going to be amazing. It's going to put a new spin on video games. The wall is not very interesting whatsoever in Strive. And I said Strive is so funny because, again, all these games, it's almost boring. Like, why do I need to watch games when I called Strive? And again, if people have watched it, anytime I ever watch a match of Strive, the game is played and called exactly how I fucking said it was going to be. I was like, this game, it's going to be, I cannot believe I made videos saying exactly how the announcers were going to call the game. And I'm like, that's going to be how they're going to call the game. They're going to be, oh, it's going to be my FRC, or what do they call it? PRC, Purple RC versus your Drift FRC. You Drift FRC there. Oh my God, so amazing. But then he did a Drift FRC there. And I'm like, that's exact. They're just going to sell you on the game like that. And the funny thing is, they're going to try to sell you on the game like that, and every commentator is going to talk about nothing but that. But at the end of the day, the most interesting thing about the game is going to be the characters. The characters are still the most interesting thing about the game, how they are going to redesign the characters. The system in this game is actually going to be secondary. The wall is not going to be interesting. It's not, you know what I mean? The wall's not going to be interesting, and they're going to sell you on these Drift FRCs. And you know what? At the end of the day, the characters are still going to be the most interesting thing about Guilty Gear. And it is. And I said before, it's funny because, again, there's always been, you know, Guilty Gear has always been interesting system-wise and character-wise. You know what I mean? But it's always teeter-tottered on the characters are actually more interesting than the system. And I'm like, but the funny thing for Strive is, despite that it's still going to be the same, they are now going to try to sell you that the system is the best thing about this game, not the characters. And it's not the case. The characters are still the best thing about the game, despite them trying to sell you on the system. God, it's so fucking boring. It's like, that's why I was like, why do I need to play these games when I just look at these games? And I fucking called how the announcers were going to call the game. My God, it's fucking so, I'm just too old. It's just, when you can look at a game and tell someone exactly how it's going to play without even playing it, it's fucking boring. This shit is a curse. My brain is a curse, right? And the only other thing I have to say about Strive that I thought was funny is I guess they came out with the character designs for Strive and how it's supposed to be, and of course I laughed that Testament was muscly. Oh my God, I can't believe we had to go through all this bullshit. That Testament has always been non-binary and transgender. Testament, and then what do we see? Testament's designs for Strive, when they showed the pictures of Testament. Testament was a muscled out rocker goth dude. Are you fucking kidding me? God, all this fucking forced LGBTQ shit makes me fucking sick, dude. My God, it's become such a fucking thing. Something that is supposed to be good is now just used for such propaganda and agenda and to sell shit. I was talking about this with someone. We were just talking about, me and a friend were just talking about this shit. It's like, God, man, can't we just hang out with our gay friends and not listen into this, turn into everything a fucking political movement? We don't care that you're gay. You're our friend. Stop making this into a fucking religion, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, we're your friend. We don't care that you're gay. Shut the fuck up for 5 fucking seconds. Okay? My God, dude. It's insane, dude. I'm going on a political rant. You know, again, you go, oh my God, dude. It is so crazy. You go to these other countries, and America has no idea what other countries are like. You know what I mean? It's like, we're not free enough here. We want to go to another country. Go to another country, please. You have no idea the kind of ridiculous shit you get away with here, man. My God. I can't believe that fucking girl was trying to tell me that being a bug is normal. We don't know a lot about human sexuality. We could be bugs. Can you prove we're not bugs? My God. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm just laughing about it. I can't, you know, the thing is too, why isn't the community going crazy about, hey, Bridget's in the game? Why don't we talk about that Bridget's a guy? You know, like, are we not talking about that anymore? Oh, no, that's not, you know, pro enough, you know, LGBTQ, whatever. We got to talk about Testament. Do you not see that the Arc Systems Works basically used your community for money and profit by feminizing him like this for a cheap pop to make money? Don't you think that's kind of fucked up in a way to use a community for money like that? Anyone with a rational brain knows that Testament was not like that before. Like, give me a fucking break. And even when they try to use, no, there's this quote here. No, they fucking changed it. They changed it to use you guys for money because you're so fucking gullible and you're just insane now. You know what I mean? Look, he looked pretty goddamn muscly in these character design sketches. I'm pretty sure they just wanted to use your community for money, but you guys are so fucking gullible, and you've turned this into something that's supposed to be used for good for fucking propaganda. You're a fucking cult now. It's like a fucking religion. Anyway, that was my thoughts on EVO 2022. I guess at last thought, I did kind of think, man, you know, because my body has been hurting and doctors are talking about, you know, maybe I need another surgery on my hands and everything like that. And I keep thinking like, man, you know, I'm getting older and I'm calling these games and everything like that. I keep thinking, I wonder how much longer I even have to randomly play video games as casually as even I do, because, you know, doctors are like, man, we're not sure if it's the arthritis, you know, we're not so much as it's the nerve damage, you know, they're talking about more surgery. It's like, I've already had surgery on my hands, dude. You know, I don't know. So I've been thinking, man, I can't imagine having surgery on my hands again. Oh my God. But they're like, maybe it's the arthritis that is giving. It's like, man, boy, it's crazy to think that, you know, that's why I say I can't even play video games even if I wanted to, because you know, I'm in so much pain from all my health issues. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I got to use any energy I have to keep myself healthy working out. Like, even working out is such a fucking struggle now, you know? God, man. Oh, boy. You got to listen to so many fucking crazy people. And, oh, that was something else, man. A tangent. You know, something else, you know, when I looked at some of these video games and I see these people playing, and I'm like, man, these guys really, they don't do anything but play video games. I see all these names. Man, these guys were playing video games when I was a kid. I know I saw, God, fucking Flash Metroid still plays video games. My God. Whenever I think of that guy, I still think of that guy talking about that he was the best in Guilty Gear when... I still remember that tournament. It was an East Coast tournament. He kept on talking about he was the best in Guilty Gear, and then he lost to a Testament player, and he started crying because he said he didn't know there were overheads. And I'm like, oh God, this guy is the guy that's been crying about how he's better than me. He's not the best, or I'm not the best, he's the best, and he lost to a Testament, and he didn't know there were overheads. And then I remember there was that tournament that he made me beat him 3 times in a row, and the tournament organizer did fucking nothing. Motherfucker made me beat him 3 times in a row, and he said, oh, it doesn't count, play again. I'm like, I just beat you. No, it doesn't count, do it again. Beat him again. Oh no, that doesn't count. My controller doesn't work, and my buttons were wrong. And I'm like, what the fuck? Made me beat him, then another set, and he finally admitted he lost, quotation marks, and he's like, my controller didn't work. What a fucking idiot. And then that motherfucker got caught rigging a tournament. How do you get caught rigging a tournament with Marnito and they still allow you to enter tournaments? Man, the video game community is so weird. Anyway, I just thought about that because I saw that guy's name was there. And I'm like, this guy's been caught rigging tournaments before and he's still allowed to enter? I guess it just goes to show you. I guess when I see that kind of stuff, I'm like, man, I guess it's no wonder that there's so many fucking crazy people. God, I'm always shocked. It's like, man, these motherfuckers, these guys really, all they do is play video games. It's crazy. I guess motherfuckers, man, it's crazy and creepy, right? It's, wow. Motherfuckers really, they did nothing in their life but play video games, I guess. It's kind of weird, right? Oh, well, I guess that was kind of a thought that I had too. Anyway, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. The end.